Today's video is sponsored by Squarespace. It's finally time to talk about one of my favorite books or collections of books in my photo book collection, and that is The Book of Everything by Mary Ellen Mark. This is a complete career retrospective of her work that I've had for a couple of months now. It feels like I pre-ordered this thing forever ago, but I've spent some time with it, and this is easily at the very top of my list of things I own in terms of my photo books, not in terms of value, although when I pre-ordered this, it was definitely the most I'd ever spent on a photo book or a set of photo books at that time. However, since receiving this, and as they're still making more, the price for this has just gone up and up and up, so it's kind of insane. But if you're serious about Mary Ellen Mark, if you're a big fan of hers, or if you're serious about collecting photo books, I would definitely say jump on this sooner rather than later because I just see that price continuing to go up. However, this for me is not a collector's item. It's not sealed. I'm not gonna, keep it like well preserved in some kind of, humidity controlled environment. This is a book that I'm gonna be studying for probably the rest of my life. It's easily one of my favorite things that I have in the collection just for the work itself, but everything about the presentation, it's just, if you can't already tell, I should probably shut up. If you can't already tell, I absolutely love this thing. But today, I wanted to basically talk a little bit about why I love Mary Ellen Mark's work so much, why I look up to her and her approach, but also just share as much of these that I can so that if you don't plan on picking one up yourself, you can still appreciate not only the presentation of this book, but most importantly, her work itself. Conceived and edited by film director Martin Bell, Mary Ellen Mark's husband and collaborator for 30 years, The Book of Everything celebrates in over 600 images and diverse texts Mark's extraordinary life, work, and vision. From 1963 to her death in 2015, Mark told brilliant, intimate, provocative stories of characters whom she met and engaged with, often in perpetuity. There was nothing casual or unprepared about Mark's approach. She unfailingly empathized with the people and places she photographed. For this comprehensive book, Bell has selected images from Mark's thousands of contact sheets and chromes, from over 2 million frames in total. These include her own now iconic choices, those published once and since lost in time, as well as some of her as yet unpublished preferences. Bell complements these with a few selections of his own. Along with Mark's pictures made in compelling and often tragic circumstances, The Book of Everything includes recollections from friends, colleagues, and many of those she photographed. Mark's own thoughts reveal doubts and insecurities, her ideas about the individuals and topics she depicted, as well as the challenges of the business of photography. That description was pulled directly from Stidle's website, who is the publisher of this book, so I'll put a link in the description down below if you're interested in picking up a copy yourself. Most importantly, we should dive into her work itself, and this book is divided into 3 books and it's all chronological, so we're going to start at the very beginning with book number 1. Mary Ellen Mark for me is one of the best storytellers in the world of photography. Everything from her portrait work to her more documentary work, the closeness and intimate feeling that she has with all of her subjects is something that kind of just you see throughout all of her work, no matter what project it is, no matter what decade it was. All of these books, I mean, there's so much variety in the subject matter in there, but you see that common signature. It's like that visual signature that she has, and it's this really intimate and just raw, just unashamed approach. You know, the way that her subjects are communicating with her, just in their posture and their facial expressions, where she is in a certain scene with her camera and just how she composes things. You can really feel that she was a part of that relationship there. It wasn't the photographer and subject, so to speak. There was like a very a mutual kind of exchange between the two of them. A couple of years ago, I did a video on Tiny Streetwise Revisited. This was my first Mary Ellen Mark book, and that was what really stood out to me more than anything, was just how close she was with her subjects, and you can see that across all of the subjects in this collection. It's not an easy thing to do, to get your subjects to give you that complete trust and really open up, especially if they're in maybe a vulnerable situation or just where they're at in their life, not knowing exactly where the photos are going to live or what they're for. She spoke about this before, and the idea that, you know, just being honest with people and just being, you know, approachable to people rather than trying to be secretive or to come across as like manipulative. You know, she was very honest with her subjects, and I think that's a big part as to why they felt so comfortable there. And I think it's not an easy thing for people to open up, but at the same time, I don't think it's easy for photographers to be completely open and honest as she was. You know, sometimes you don't want to reveal too much maybe, or there are so many different things that could alter how that person is in front of the camera, but Mary Ellen Mark obviously as a person she had to come across very trustworthy and very personable and very honest, because in some of the situations that you see in some of the photos, to be able to get your subject to relax that much and to trust you there, that says the world just about her character and her approach. And being a woman as well in the photography world, she's actually talked about this as well, where some of the places that she was allowed to go into with her camera, she often said that, you know, a stranger would welcome her in off the street, but if she were a man, she likely wouldn't have that same access. So she kind of used that approach to her advantage as well, which is an interesting take. It's something I never really considered, but it's definitely a good point, especially in some of those times. You know, just letting a woman come in with a camera off the street, I'm sure people never thought anything of it, you know, had they known she was, you know, as incredible of a photographer that she really was. But again, it just shows that she was really working at it, not just when the camera was in her hand, but from all angles. She really had a very dialed in approach, I think, but at the heart of it was just being sincere and honest with people and trustworthy. I really didn't want to say too much in this video because I just wanted to let the photos speak for themselves, and if I continue to talk and share as much as I can, then I'm going to completely go against what I had in mind for this video. So I hope you guys have enjoyed looking through this book of Mary Ellen Mark's work. Absolutely incredible. Again, one of my favorite photographers of all time, and her ability to tell stories and to get those raw moments, it's just unparalleled with anybody else. So I hope you enjoyed getting a closer look at this collection. Again, if you're interested, I'll put a link in the description. And before we wrap up, I want to go ahead and take care of some bills and thank our sponsor today, which is Squarespace. Squarespace is the best all-in-one platform to building a great looking website. No matter what your experience is with building websites, anybody can do it, and you can even do it right on your phone. With tons of different templates to choose from, you can easily customize your website to make it look exactly how you want, and if you ever need help with anything, they have 24/7 award-winning customer service. If you have any products to sell, whether it be prints or a photo book or even digital products, you can do so directly through the Commerce feature, which has everything you need to run a successful online store. And more than anything, as a photographer, it's great to have a place to showcase just your work and not your work mixed into some feed based on some algorithm on another app. So having a place where your work lives uninterrupted is crucial. If you want to try Squarespace out, you can do so entirely free at squarespace.com, but when you're ready to get signed up, I can save you 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain by going to squarespace.com/mattday. I hope you guys enjoyed this closer look at the Book of Everything, especially if you're not planning on purchasing it yourself. I hope you got to enjoy what I did share today. But if you're serious about picking up photo books, again, I cannot recommend this enough. But that's it for today. Thank you guys for everything. I love you. I'll see you next time.